What if I told you there's a single shift that can transform your romantic life, leading you from feeling overlooked and ignored by the woman you desire to becoming the center of her universe? It's not about being someone you're not or changing who you are. Today, we're diving into a question I get all the time. Why do women prefer bad guys? The problem is that these traits are often confused with being a so-called bad boy, when in reality, they're simply masculine qualities that every man should possess. He will receive a wound in the wounds of his flesh and a burning that will consume him to the bones. But for now, let me share 3 key qualities that women find irresistible. These are traits you probably assume only bad guys embody, but they're actually crucial for any man seeking love. First, confidence. Decisiveness means knowing what you want and going after it without hesitation. The problem is that modern society often discourages men from fully embracing their masculinity, fearing it might be mistaken for aggression or selfishness. But he faced the giant with unwavering confidence, courage, and a clear plan. He knew his worth, had faith in his abilities, and acted decisively when the time came. And look at the results. David became a hero, slaying the giant and winning the admiration of the people. But here's the truth. Confidence, boldness, and decisiveness are not bad qualities. In fact, they're essential for a man's growth and purpose. But let me ask you this, if Jesus didn't embody these traits, why do people flock to him? You see, God created 2 distinct genders, each with unique roles and purposes. Men and women are meant to complement each other, not become one. Start by clarifying your mission and values. Identify the changes you need to make and develop a plan to achieve your goals. Trust in God's guidance and strength as you take these steps. Share it with friends and family and join our growing community. We're here every step of the way, cheering you on as you become the man God created you to be. Until next time, remember, you're amazing just the way you are, but amazing with purpose and power. Now get out there and claim what's rightfully yours. He's already given you all you need to succeed. And as you grow in these areas, watch how your relationships, including with women, begin to flourish. Embracing your masculinity doesn't make you less caring or empathetic. It simply means you're embracing the full range of emotions God gave you, including anger, ambition, and assertiveness. These emotions aren't bad, nor are they incompatible with faith. He was confident in his identity and mission, bold in his teachings, and decisive in his actions. He walked with God and made it clear that he was unafraid of anyone except his Father in heaven. These are qualities that all men should strive for, regardless of their relationship status. Proverbs 15:22 says, "Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed." While seeking counsel is wise, ultimately you must trust your instincts and make decisions with conviction. It might not be about you, but about the qualities they're subconsciously looking for in a partner. Confidence, boldness, and decisiveness aren't bad traits. They're biblical, they're attractive, and they're essential for fulfilling your purpose. God wants you to embrace these qualities, not shy away from them. In Matthew 7:21, Jesus said, "Not everyone who says to me, 'Lord, Lord,' will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of my Father in heaven." So if you're still searching for your special someone, keep the faith. Keep growing and keep pursuing your dreams. God has a perfect plan for you, and it includes love. To do God's will, you must be confident in His word. Be bold in your walk with Christ and decisive in following His guidance. Don't let fear or societal pressure hold you back. Instead, trust in God's plan for your life and embrace the man He created you to be. A man who dithers and wavers projects an image of uncertainty, which can turn women off, because they embody these masculine traits that society often demonizes. Aim to be the man God designed you to be, confident, bold, decisive, and deeply spiritual. Your journey to fulfilling love starts with embracing the fullness of who you are. But here's the good news. You don't have to be a bad guy to display these qualities. In fact, you can be a man of God and still command respect and admiration from women. Embrace your masculinity, walk boldly in your faith, and make decisions aligned with God's will. And watch what happens. You'll attract the right kind of woman who appreciates your character and respects your leadership. But when you know what you want and go after it fearlessly, it's undeniably attractive. Imagine trying to court a woman when you can't commit to a simple yes or no. Frustrating, isn't it? Yet indecisiveness is a common pitfall for nice guys who can't make up their minds, leading to lost opportunities and unrequited feelings. This doesn't mean arrogance or over-the-top bravado, but a quiet, self-assured demeanor that comes from knowing your worth and embracing your purpose. Listen to Proverbs 14:28. A man without understanding lifts up himself, but a man of understanding turns away. True confidence stems from understanding who you are and embracing it without apology or fear of rejection. It's not about inflating your ego, but recognizing your value and living accordingly. And guess what? Women crave a man who knows his worth and carries himself with purpose. So why do women repeatedly fall for the same destructive pattern? Boldness means taking charge, being decisive, and living life on your own terms. In Proverbs 31:3, we read, "My son, be courageous and show yourself to be a man in the face of adversity." Life will throw you curveballs, and how you respond defines your character. Boldness isn't recklessness, but a calculated risk-taking that honors your values and priorities. When you stand firm in your beliefs and take charge when it matters most, women notice, and they want to be with a man who can lead and protect, not one who shrinks in the face of challenges. Well, as I mentioned earlier, there are certain qualities they find irresistible. And even though they know better, they let their emotions get the best of them. Here's the thing. Attraction is emotional before it's moral. Women may tell themselves they won't go for a man because of his questionable character, but deep down they connect first and foremost on an emotional level. If he makes them feel wanted, desired, and turned on, they'll justify ignoring his flaws, and it's no wonder really. After all, men typically meet women hoping for romance, while women meet men hoping for a love story. To them, a spark is enough to overlook red flags, because they'd rather regret leaving him than staying with a man they didn't truly connect with. Now, before I answer, let me say this. You might think you have to be a certain way to appeal to women, but what if I told you you already have what it takes to attract any woman you desire? What if the problem isn't that you're not attractive enough, or you're not approaching women the right way, but rather that you're missing a key piece of the puzzle that leads women to choose the wrong men again and again? It's about removing a mental blind spot that keeps you stuck in a loop of frustration. And what I'm about to share with you is something I've learned through personal experience, spiritual insight, and years of coaching other men into fulfilling relationships. Are you ready to unlock the secret? Welcome to Deep Vision, where you'll always hear the unvarnished truth from a biblical perspective. You see, women aren't attracted to jerks, but they do get drawn to certain qualities they find irresistible. The Bible warns us about these heart-led decisions in Proverbs 6:32, which says, "But whoever commits adultery lacks sense, and he that does so destroys his own soul." In my upcoming book, The Art of Being a Heartbreaker, I'll go deeper into this topic. Second, boldness. This is a quality that sets men apart from boys and is often mistaken for being a bad boy. And third, decisiveness. This is another trait that women find incredibly attractive in a man. Now, here's the kicker. These three qualities are not found in bad guys. They're inherent in every man created by God. Think back to the story of David and Goliath. David, a young shepherd, wasn't the biggest or strongest contender, but here's the real secret. These qualities aren't just desirable for women. They're fundamental for your relationship with God. So why do women go for the so-called bad guys? Remember, you were created with purpose and power. Don't settle for being just another nice guy. Before we close, I want to address something. Some might argue that these qualities aren't biblical or that I'm oversimplifying a complex issue. Ultimately, choosing to embrace your masculinity isn't selfish or wrong. It's part of God's plan for your life. So if you've been struggling with why women seem to prefer bad boys, consider this. So if you feel called to become more confident, bold, and decisive, I encourage you to take action. Remember, you're not destined to be single. You're created for connection and purpose. And that wraps up today's message. If you found it insightful, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below.